Hey, okay, so I've tried to do this video several times. I am so tired of trying to do this video. But the trailer was dropped for The Bride, which is the remake of The Bride of Frankenstein. Well, it's supposed to be the remake of The Bride of Frankenstein, and it obviously is not. I don't know what it is. I've noticed that the wiki page has been doing some word changes here and there, and I believe that's because of the backlash that it's been receiving. I want to talk about this. At first, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let it go, but I can't let this go. The trailer was dropped a couple days ago, and so let's just talk about it. There's probably going to be a few rants here and there. I have been following this ever since it was first announced back in 2023. Now, to clear up any confusion, this is not connected to uh the Universal project that they have where they are rebooting um their monster movies. No, no. Originally I thought that it was, but it's not. Um no, but they do have a Frankenstein in the works. I guess it's in the works. It says that in 2020 somebody was hired to serve as screenwriter with a plot revolving around a group of teenagers who discover that a neighbor is creating a monster in their bed. That's weird science. Okay. I'm getting really tired. Okay, here's rant number one. I'm getting really tired of them saying that, and this is one of the bride is one of them. Okay, so I'm getting really tired of them saying that they're going to release something and that's not what it is. When I was in college, uh, I had a professor who said that when you're hired to do something, you do it or you're not getting paid. Why are these dumbasses getting paid? Honestly, okay, if you're hired to reboot the most iconic monster in cinema history and you pull out this slop, no, that's not it. For as much as we make fun of method actors, at least they give us the character that they were told to give. Maybe you should try that, okay? Except don't end up with a cult. Okay. Yeah, seriously. Shouldn't be that hard. G- Really? I mean, Weird Science is just a teenage remake of Frankenstein, except they make a hot woman. Yeah, shock. I know. But if you're going to reboot Frankenstein, we better see Gothic castles, a cemetery, villagers with torch and pitchforks, and a crazy doctor named Frankenstein. Yeah, it's the monster. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Boy, oh, that'll be the biggest rant, I think, more so than Geeky Sparkles has ever ranted over on Clownfish. Okay. So in August of 2023, there was this remake that was supposed to happen for The Bride of Frankenstein over on Netflix. Written, directed, and produced by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Okay. Well, then the Hollywood strikes happened, and Netflix decided to drop Maggie Gyllenhaal for Guillermo del Toro because he had his version of Frankenstein. I understand that because it's Guillermo del Toro. And this is only Maggie's second director anything. Okay. And so it makes sense. All right. All right. Now, They drop her. Now, in the entertainment industry, when you're dropped, it's it's like, oh no. It can feel the same way as getting fired, and then it's like, do I just get rid of it? What do I do? You're in limbo, as it would feel for anybody. Well, that was August. In November, Warner Brothers picks her up. So she gets a second chance. I want you to remember this. She got a second chance. Okay. Not a lot of people get that. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at Maggie really quick. She is the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal. Their parents are filmmakers and all of that stuff. So, yeah, yeah, Nepo baby, all that nonsense. Okay, so she appeared in Donnie Darko with her brother back in 2001. I didn't know that she was in The Dark Knight. I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. I need to watch those Batman. I need to just sit down and watch the Batman, all the Batmans. And well, she decided she wanted to get into directing. Okay. So, okay. And her first film was back in 2021, based off a novel, a 2006 novel called The Lost Daughter. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I was reading through this, and it says, when it comes to the critical reception, or the critic reception and all of this stuff, at its opening night, the movie received a 4-minute standing ovation at the film festival. Yeah, they always do standing ovations. I don't care. I really don't care. Okay. The thing is that when the whale, when they did the whale, it got a standing ovation as well. And one of the reasons it got a bigger like a 12-minute ovation, was because Brenda Fraser had returned. Okay. It lasted so long because Brenda Fraser came back. I don't play games with me. And it also says on Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 94%. Well, Rotten Tomatoes is a scam. Okay. It's been proven time and again that it can be bought off. It has hidden its numbers. And then when the numbers come back, they're all messed up with. Okay. So I don't care. I really don't care. Uh, a lot of this is word vomit, such as this one person here wrote, the movie captures the spirit of the novel, which that's a good thing. I do have to say. It's suspenseful, but not a thriller. What does that even mean? Okay, there are elements of obsession and eroticism. I am so tired of the word eroticism. I want to vomit. Okay, because people don't use it correctly. Okay, not only that, no, nobody uses the word eroticism correctly. Not only that, but when they talk about the word erotic, or the erotica and all of that stuff, it's just, they don't know. Okay. Uh, Elements never quite go where you expect. Uh, I think your brain isn't going where you expect when you're talking about this. The end is deeply ambiguous. Okay, so you got a thesaurus and you're trying to impress us. Something that I learned in high school. In high school is, don't use big words to impress people. And that's the problem with a lot of these people is what they do is they use big, big words to try and look impressive. And I'm getting tired of it. It's just like people overuse the word ilk and and some of these they hear the word and then they just can't stop using it. It's oh man, it's kind of like when I was younger and kids would get watches and they couldn't stop telling you the time. Do you know what time it is? Just ask me and I can tell you the time. Yeah, anytime you would get a kid a watch and that's what would happen. It's just like here. And this unflinching new filmmaker, you don't know what that word means. Flinching. Only has time for the most interesting questions. These people have not said anything about the movie. Okay, I actually looked up the plot and I got bored. For The Lost Daughter, I actually got bored. They keep saying that it was suspenseful but not thrilling. Yeah, it wasn't thrilling at all. I got bored reading it. I was like, okay. Well, here's the thing about this. It's like they're trying too hard to be nice because she's a Gyllenhaal. Okay, she's big old Nepo baby. This is her first movie. And again, telling me that they got a standing ovation. They always do at those stupid festivals. Okay, so she got a budget of $5 million and she couldn't even crack a million. Okay. Her box office, the final box office number was 703,281. That's not good. Okay, so you can do all the flowery statements using your thesaurus to high heaven. I don't give a shit. This is the thing, is that when you are a director, because Kenny Ortega did the same thing, at least he got to 2.8 million. This is also a movie that was shoved in select theaters, not all theaters, but select theaters. Okay, so that's another red flag. Usually when it's in select theaters, they don't have confidence in it because Sleeping Beauty, the animated Sleeping Beauty, Walt Disney had no confidence in it, and so it was put in select theaters. Okay, and it bombed. It bombed. I've talked about Newsies, same thing. Face planted. Oh, it hit the dirt. Okay, you go down the list of all these movies that were put in select theaters and start researching them and realize that the reason that they were put in there is because there was no confidence in these movies. Okay, if she was confident in this, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, I'm sorry, but I okay, well, here's another thing about this. There's a name in here, Elizabeth Buckley, or Jessie Buckley, I'm sorry. Jessie Buckley. Guess what? She's in The Bride. She's a star. Jessie Buckley as the bride. Now you may think, well, that's not a big deal. Well, guess what? Her husband, Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband, was also in The Lost Daughter, is also in The Bride. He plays a detective. Okay, this is not good. Robert Eggers, who's currently working, he did The Lighthouse. He also did Nosferatu, which I do want to sit down and look at that. Um, I just haven't had a chance because my life is crazy this year. Um, Currently, I think he's working on The Werewolf. I think that's the one that he's working on right now. And but people are giving him a hard time because they say that he is getting comfortable with certain actors. Okay, there are directors that use certain actors, like Tim Burton. We all make the jokes about Tim Burton and how Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter and Danny DeVito. Okay, we make those jokes. All right. This is the thing, is that when you are a newer director, you can't do that. You're new to Hollywood, you can't do that yet. So Maggie and Robert Eggers, you need to give people a chance to get, yeah, especially with Maggie. This is only your second movie. Okay, at least Robert has I don't know how many movies, I think four now. And you can't do that. If you're dependent on your husband all the time and now Elizabeth, I keep calling her Elizabeth. I'm sorry, Jesse. I'm sorry. I don't know why I call her Elizabeth Buckley. I'm sorry. I do apologize about that. No, it's Jessie Buckley. Jessie Buckley is the bride, but she was also in The Lost Daughter. And so you have your husband and Jessie Buckley. Okay, now Christian Bale is in here too. And but Christian Bale is known for appearing with fellow actors. So, you know, there's that. And then Jake Gyllenhaal is in here, but I can see that as just he's helping his sister. So I'm not going to say anything about that. Now, you can come after me and say, well, what would you know? You're not in in Hollywood. No, I'm not. But as a former dancer, I've seen it. Okay. My dance instructor, she owned the studio. And one of the things that she used to do when I was early on, she used to put her daughter in a lot of the ballet performances. And then she realized that she was doing it too much. And so she had to stop. Same deal. Same thing. Okay. If you do it too much, people are going to get turned off. Okay. With Tim Burton, people expect it, especially since Johnny Depp and Tim Burton and Helena all have the same kind of style. So you expect it. They're fun. They're fun together. This is different. Okay. So yeah. So that's Maggie. You can be mad. I don't care. I'm just saying my piece on the matter. All right, and what I see. Okay. So I watched this trailer and I'm going to tell you what I saw and then we'll talk about the comment section. Okay. No, first what I want to say about the comment section because I know my comment section will probably be flooded with people who are going to be okay, so the bots and shills came out of nowhere, and there's going to be people that are going to say, "Well, you didn't see it." Well, neither did you, because it's not coming out until March of 2026. So you can just stop right there. All right. Second of all, there's going to be people who are going to be defending whoever is in this, be it Jake Gyllenhaal, Maggie Gyllenhaal. First of all, Maggie is married because her husband is in this. And so I don't know what you're doing there. If you think that she's going to sleep with you because you're defending her, you can stop right there. If you're going to defend Christian Bale, I'm a fan of Christian Bale, and I'm going to say it like it is. I think that this is shit. Okay, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, just because I'm a fan of somebody does not mean that I have to like every little thing that they're in. All right, that's just the bottom line. I'm a fan of Angela Lansbury, and there's some things that she did that I thought was stupid. So there you go. All right. I don't understand this mentality of every little thing you have to love because you're a fan of somebody. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so the bots and shills are out of control. They're going nuts. And I don't care. I can say what I want. I'm an adult. That's just the bottom line. Okay? That's how it is. Okay? And so this is my channel. All right. We're good? We're good. All right. So I saw this. I wish I hadn't, but I did. I watched it. I was incredibly disappointed. Now it starts out where you see Jessie Buckley, not Elizabeth. I don't know where I get that, but yeah, Jessie Buckley. I feel bad because I'm calling her the wrong name, but it's Jessie Buckley. You see her mouth, and it's like a scream laugh, and it's very jarring. It's okay. Now, me personally, I thought that it was something having to do with Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay, it was black and white. It was some like weird filter over it. And I did. I thought that it was a Rocky Horror thing. All right. Now, it took me a minute after I saw the thing, and I suddenly realized, was that supposed to be like a homage or something to the famous Scream from the movie? Because that ain't it. That ain't it. Okay, and then you get into the actual trailer where it explains how she became the bride. Okay, just a little nitpick here, but the makeup job for the bride, that sweetheart lipstick, because this is supposed to be set in 1930s Chicago, that was not in the 1930s. No, that was like Edwardian and 1920s, not in the 1930s. Okay, just a little nitpick. No, I don't think even performers did that. Maybe oh shoot. I know I'm going to say this wrong. I'll put it in the description box. There's like that famous French clown, that Pirouet. Uh, I feel bad. Uh, that famous tragic French clown that's dressed in the white and the black and everything. But there are pictures of people in the 20s and even Edwardian era who dressed like that. That was famous, especially here in America. They would dress up in that, and there were couples that would dress in that, and they would reenact this uh, this couple, and that particular look was famous. Um, but in the 30s, not so much. It's just a nitpick, and so yeah, by the 30s, it was done. But so you see how she became the bride. And then they immediately go into Bonnie and Clyde. That's it. They just go on this Bonnie and Clyde rampage. Okay. Now, I was like, but wait, okay, it's Bride of Frankenstein. It's called The Bride of Frankenstein. Um, how did he become the monster? There's like no explanation about how he's the monster, and we're just supposed to accept that. That's ridiculous. That is stupid. You left an entire chunk of story out. You can't do that to your viewers. You can't just make them accept that that's there or anything like that. You can't do that. And I thought, okay, so at first I thought maybe they would do flashbacks of some kind to explain how the monster came to be. And guess what? Maybe it's going to be in there, but here's the thing that really pissed me off. Get ready. Get ready for the rant. Here we go. Um, so Christian Bale plays the monster, and the monster's name is Frankenstein. Are you fucking stupid? Are you really? Oh, and the comment section are letting Maggie know it. are really letting me okay, and the bots and shills are trying to cover it up. All right, they are really trying hard to cover up, and that's why I say to the bots and shills that you need to stop ass kissing. You really have some dignity, not the bots, because the bots don't care. They're just a computer. But to the shills out there, you need to have some dignity. All right? Seriously. Okay. This is why I also said that Maggie got a second chance. Okay, Netflix dropped her for Guillermo del Toro, and Warner Brothers picked her up so that she could do this project. And what did she do all this time? Just sit on her hands and do, okay. You're telling me that she couldn't take the time to read the novel and discover that the monster didn't have it, that it was Dr. Frankenstein, or at least watch Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein. Oh my gosh. Because people have rejected it. I did the video talking about how Andrew Lloyd Webber wants to make an anime out of Phantom of the Opera and thought he could just go up to the anime fans and be like, hey guys, look at this. The anime fans have already rejected it because you used Tuxedo Mask. You defamed Tuxedo Mask. Well, guess what, princess? You did the same thing with Frankenstein. It only takes 2 seconds to destroy everything that you created. I'm surprised that the people on set didn't say something. Are they that stupid too? Like, come on. Is the paycheck really worth it? This is what every Legend of Zelda fan has to go through. Okay. The horror fans are done. Okay. It's like it it's the doctor, not the monster. It's the doctor. Yes. Okay. Legend of Zelda, it's the same thing. The swordsman is Link and princess is yeah. One scene in particular where the bride and the monster are walking down an alley and these kids are harassing and push the bride. The monster beats up the kids. She turns and he says, "Till death do us part." I felt bad for Christian Bale having to utter those words. Like, don't ever make fun of George Lucas ever again because I mean, even there's no way you could method act the dead look in his eyes when he said that because oh my gosh. I think right then and there he was questioning if the paycheck was worth it. You know, it was just like why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? The writing sucks. The writing absolutely sucks. Now, me personally, okay, I am sick and tired of the whole Bonnie and Clyde trope. I was tired of it 10 years ago. I was tired of it before Netflix put out their special having to do with Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, do you remember that one, the one 2013, where everybody fixated on the wrong hair color, everything? I was tired of it then. I was like, okay, it's overdone. we need to move on. Okay. And everything. I didn't see the I didn't see Joker 2. Okay. In the comment section, people were comparing this to Joker 2. In fact, there were some people who were saying that Jessie Buckley, her look, they thought that it was Lady Gaga. So I looked at pictures and I was like, holy shit. Me personally, when I first saw her, I meant to say this before, when I first saw her introduced as the bride, I really did think that it was from the music video Mr. Brightside by the Killers. I was like, was that the inspiration? Yeah, that's where my brain went anyway. And so there were people that were comparing this. They were using the French phrase and and saying bride and Frankenstein, whatever it was, and I don't remember because I didn't care. But I mean that they're joking about it. They're not taking this seriously. Now, me personally, before I saw the comparison of Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, I was like, okay, as much as I don't like uh, Bonnie and Clyde, if written correctly, it could probably work. Okay, I know that in the original, because I love those monster movies. I love all the monster movies, and I even love the remakes. I absolutely love the Brenda Fraser remake. Every summer I have to watch the two of them. The third one I really want to like, but I it just isn't for me. And but so I wanted to give this one. I really wanted to like this one, you know? But the thing is this hot garbage. It's just massively hot garbage. But the thing is that I was trying to give it benefit of the doubt in every way possible, every way, shape, and form that I could here. And it's like, okay, the the Bonnie and Clyde thing could work. Okay. Even though in the original, uh, the bride rejected Boris Karloff. Okay, she did. Uh, the bride rejected. They didn't go on a crazy rampage or anything like that. But you know, it remakes you get a creative twist. Okay, so I was trying to give benefit there. This is just not it because the writing sucks. The writing is terrible, especially when Christian Bale has to say till death do us part. Now let's talk about Christian Bale and how he looks. Okay, now I was trying to remember if this was still under Netflix, but there was a photo shoot that happened and it was black and white photography and the prosthetics looked amazing on Christian Bale. Okay. And this is what pisses me off so much. She got a fucking second chance. She got a second chance, and those prosthetics look horrifying on him and not in a good way. Okay? He looks bad. You have Christian Bale, the guy who will put his body through hell. Okay? This guy is like, I think he's like 7 years older than me. So he's reaching 50 if he's not already there. And he's still putting his body through everything under the sun. He'll put prosthetics on and everything else. You had the chance to make Christian Bale this monster, this iconic monster, and you blew it. This is what you gave us? This looks terrible. Maggie, what the fuck? I'm so mad right now. You think about all the people that played this monster. Okay, you think of some of the names that played. You had Boris Karloff. You had Bela Lugosi. You have Lon Chaney Jr. Okay, you had Peter Boyle, who played the monster in a parody of, and then you had the chance with Christian Bale. I'm sorry, but that prosthetic on his nose, it looked like somebody punched it and they said, we got to still film. It just looks bad. Okay, and I'm looking at the budget right now. I'm looking at this, and the budget is $80 million. So $80 million, and that's what you came up with. I'm pissed off. So first of all, you're not giving us, and for it to say, well, because again, they're doing all the wordplay right now. Uh, the film draws inspiration from Bride of Frankenstein. Where? Where is it? Okay. I hope that you are haunted by Mary Shelley on this one, and I hope also that you are haunted by Elsa Lanchester on this one, because this is shit. This is absolute shit. I'm going to defend Christian Bale because this is the thing. Is you had the chance to put him up there with Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Lon Chaney Jr., as well as Peter Boyle, some of the greats. And he looks awful. Those prosthetics look terrible. It looks like he got punched in the nose. It looks like the prosthetic that what's her name wore in the Brady Bunch when she got knocked out with the football. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Fix it. This is okay. This is in closing. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. First of all, I know that Christian Bale doesn't need me to defend him, but holy shit. As a horror fan, okay, I'm a fan of those classic movies and everything, like I said before. Okay. I absolutely love, and I'm a fan of Elsa Lanchester and everything else. There are people in the comment section who are ripping her to shreds on this. The fact that you would make the monster Frankenstein is stupid. That was the dumbest thing you could ever do. Okay. And I agree with all of them that are saying this. The shills cannot save you on this one. If you really thought that that was going to happen, and the bots can't do it either. Okay. The bots don't have a brain, sweetheart. All right. It's not going to work this time. Okay. That was the dumbest move you could make. Quite honestly, I could care less about this Dr. Euphronius or whatever, played by Annette Bening. I don't care. And it's possible that it's going to be explained how the monster was created. Fine. But quite honestly, changing that in the story, what the hell were you thinking? Okay, just like I said earlier about changing Frankenstein into weird science and trying to pass that off. No, you can't do that. Not to horror fans. Okay. And trying to say that this was that it drew inspiration from Bride of Frankenstein, nowhere. I also didn't see anywhere in that trailer, I didn't see any kind of tribute or anything for Bride of Frankenstein. I didn't see if that scream at the beginning was supposed to be some kind of tribute, you missed the mark because it seemed more like Rocky Horror, and a lot of other people were saying the same thing. Okay. Now look, I don't like Bob Iger. I've said it before, I don't like him. But when he does his animated to live action, he at least puts little Easter eggs having to do with the animated. Okay, we look for them. He shows. Okay, yeah, a lot of times with these, and even when Hollywood does the remakes, you see tributes to the original and all of that. You see that. Okay, so yeah, I don't. Very disappointed in this. Yes, it's just the trailer, but holy shit. Holy shit. Um, and you can say to high heaven, well, it is just the trailer. It is just the trailer. Yeah. But you want to know something? The trailer is supposed to give us an idea of what the movie is going to be. I don't want the movie. especially with those shitty prosthetics. I was hoping to see The Bride of Frankenstein, a remake of The Bride of Frankenstein, and that's not what I'm seeing right now. That's not what I saw. I saw a hot, shitty mess. Okay. This is her second movie. She thought that she could dip her toes into horror. This ain't it, princess. All right, I'm closing up here.